Hey viewers, what's up? There was a big blunder as I started my this CME session on a different channel, and I take full guilty for that. I hope everyone you're watching over here are good and fine in this corona situation, pandemic situation. So sorry for the delay because we were streaming by mistakenly on a different channel, and now we have came here. I hope you will enjoy today's CME, and without we have wasted many time, means a lot of time. So without wasting any more time, our I'm over means I'm giving this full stream screen to our host after the 30 seconds countdown time. So let's start our CME. Basically, the main fact was you guys, I think, didn't hear anything from me, and the same blunder is happening all over and over again. So, all introduction done. So now let's play the 30 seconds video without wasting any more time.
Good evening on behalf of National.
I think there is a technical snack with Bidyut sir. So please
For
hold on.
alumnus
We
from
connect
Canada, Dr. Prosen Das and Dr. Harpreet Kaur. So today's we are proud to have with us uh, Professor Dr. S.K. Tiwari sir as our moderator. We'll be having him on the screen as soon as he joins us.
There is a lot of technical snack going on with Dr. Mukherjee. Please hold on. Um, I'm muting Kalyani sir. Kalyani sir, just please mute.
Okay, Kalyani sir is muted. Can the backstage? Yeah, Kalyani sir.
Yeah, yeah. Do you hear me?
Yes, sure.
So should we start now?
Yes, sir.
Very good evening to
With
everybody.
your permission,
Yes.
So you just continue, sir.
Am I audible?
Yes, sir. You are audible as usual, sir.
Am I audible now?
Yes, sir. You are audible, sir. Completely audible, sir.
Okay. Uh, Good evening to everybody in the 6th online CME of National Institute of Homeopathy Alumni Association. Specially, we welcome everybody, but special welcome to our respected senior Dada, Professor Dr. S.K. Tiwari. You might be knowing about him. He is a person who has contributed something to homeopathy on repertory. It is our proud of N.I.H. And we further welcome Dr. Harpreet Kaur, Prosen Das from a very long distance Canada. We are very happy that you have joined with us to strengthen and to make all of us happy by getting all together in a single platform. And as if we are feeling that we are staying in the N.I.H campus with seniors and juniors. It's a very good luck. Corona has taken many things from us, COVID-19. But at least one thing here, COVID-19 has given to N.I.H alumnus to reduce their distance. From far distance, they have got a chance to meet every fortnight. This CME, you might have heard that the only purpose is sharing of innovative thoughts. All of us, all alumni are brilliant scholars of the nation and abroad. So what we are thinking innovatively, something new to contribute homeopathic system of medicine, that should be shared to all of us to enrich our knowledge. And secondly, sharing of experiences. Many of us are staying and working and striving hard for our development, for development of homeopathy. That experience should be shared to everybody, by which every one of us can be enriched by that modern knowledge acquired by our brothers and sisters across the country. So it is a very grand good evening to all of you. We'll be listening to two new subjects. One is COVID in Canada, and a new subject of your food affairs. How homeopathy can be helped by food maintaining. That we will listen from a brilliant scholar of N.I.H. Anyway, I should not extend my speech. We are very lucky by getting these three speakers. We will listen to them. Get your questions ready. Without wasting time, try to make your questions brief and to the point, by which speakers will be able to reply. If some replies are not being given in due time, then that will be given through WhatsApp later on. Thank you very much. Be with us. Listen valuable things. Thank you.
Let's bring up on our today's first speaker, Dr. Prosen Dash, who had done his UG BHMS from National Institute of Homeopathy. After that, he had his masters in epidemiology from UK, and now based at Canada, Toronto. He will be highlighting us about food safety technology. Let's have Prosen on the screen, please.
Good evening,
Can we
everybody.
have
Good evening,
Prosen Dash on screen, please?
I think I'm on now. Skin. Can you hear me?
Good morning, Prosen from
There
Canada.
is another
Good evening. It's morning here.
30 seconds delayed transmission, so please hold.
Yes.
Bidyut Mukherjee is getting 30 seconds delayed transmission to his phone, so
Okay.
it will take time, but you can continue, sir.
Okay. Thank you, Dr. Mukherjee. Okay. Thank you for inviting me this CME session, and thank you, Dr. Mukherjee, Dr. Kalyani, and Professor Tiwari, and also my senior Dr. Harpreet. So I'll be discussing something today about not related to clinical homeopathy, because now I'm working in a food safety sector. So I'll be delivering something related to my field, what I'm working now. So before I start, I'll share my what I'm doing, what was my background. So as Dr. Mukherjee said, I finished BHMS from N.I.H in 12 batch, or 12 batch, and then I moved to UK to complete my Master of Public Health. Then I went back to India, work in a global fund project with HIV/AIDS, and then moved to Canada and studied food safety in Memorial University in Newfoundland in Canada. So after I finished my food safety degree, I was working in the food sector basically uh, with quality departments of the food industry, and also some operations part. So what I'm doing currently doing now. So I'll be sharing my experience mainly with the food safety and uh, how we are dealing with this COVID situation here. Uh, so let's get started. I'll share my screen. Okay. I think I'm on live now. So, as I told, I will be discussing about current pandemic situation in food industry, like how we are dealing with like the food safety issues during this situation, and also like during our day-to-day like operations in food industry. Um, I'll do briefly with like briefly about the coronavirus and if it is related to food and how it is affecting the my presentation will be go like that. So I'll just first I'll talk to some basic things like how it is transmitted. So as everybody knows, it is mainly a airborne disease, like and it is transmitted through respiratory droplets. So, uh, but there are some doubts about that whether it is uh, related to the food, if it can be affected through the food. So let's see. So like when this virus, like the virus attacks to the our uh, our cell through the spike protein. It is called S protein. So S protein of the virus, and then it gets attached to the cell ACE receptor, angiotensin converting enzyme receptor. So when virus attached to that receptor, and then there is another protein is called transmembrane protease. So that helps to enter the virus into the cell. So so basically this receptor ACE2 mainly we have in our mucus producing goblet cell and also ciliated cells in the nose, and also there these cells can be found in eyes also, like the in our GI tract like linings, mainly in intestine and stomach. So as it can be found in our GI tract and also like intestinal like the lining, it is like sometimes it uh, like doubts us that if this protein can be this virus can be infected through the food. Uh, so so far there is like if we can say that is theoretically it is yes it can be because if the ACE2 receptor, the cell is there, virus can attach to that and get into the body uh, through the intestinal lining or through the GI tract linings. But there is no like evidence, evidence that it can go through the food. We have experience from the like other coronavirus like disease like SARS and MERS. There's no evidence that it can pass through the food. Um, but we cannot new research are coming, so we cannot certainly say that it cannot be, or maybe further research needed for to find out it if it can come through the food. So for now, our present understanding is not coming through the food, but not it is not we're not saying that the food we don't need to follow the food safety uh, during our day-to-day act, like we didn't need to follow the food safety during our day-to-day activities. uh, so okay, uh, so even for this COVID-19, there is no evidence that this is transmitting through food, but it has found that there are some research has found that uh, there there are evidence of the virus in our stool sample. So, and it is not like clearly understanding that how it is coming to our stool sample. Like there's a what is the pathway and how it is coming. So, um, okay. So, and one thing is, as any other virus, the virus cannot grow in food, so it can be on the food. Like if there are virus on the food, like on the food or packaging, it can transmit to the human or animal and then go into the cell and grow. So good thing is it is not live bacteria. Bacteria can grow in the food, but not the virus. So and also there is no published data that this coronavirus COVID-19 is like can survive inside the food. There's some one study, it has found that it can survive, like it can survive, it's like some hours to days, like 2-3 days. There is a study that in Mars COVID, the previous coronavirus, that it can survive in the unpasteurized milk for 72 hours. But if we pasteurize the milk, that it inactivate the virus. And there's another one study, like they inoculate the virus inside the strawberries, and after 2 days, like they couldn't recover the virus inside the strawberry after some days. Um, so so what I'm trying to say, that if the virus is there on the food or inside the food, there they may not viable when we are eating, but we should follow some steps to uh, to to um, to make sure that food is safe. So uh, we cannot say that uh, like the virus it is not. You cannot say that the virus cannot go through our when we are eating. If there is virus on the food, so it cannot go to our system. But it is uh, if we cook or if we follow the steps to preserve the food, then it can inactivate the virus. So, and also there are some related to food. There are some popular meats uh, that our stomach acid can kill virus, or like if you're eating if there is virus inside the food, and it can, if we eat it even, so we have our stomach acid, so that can kill the virus. But it is not likely the situation is like there's just like meat from social media. So like if there is a virus on the food, and there is a ample of chance for the virus to go through the GI tract, like your mouth, your esophagus, and then going to the stomach. So there is a chance that the virus can go into the body through when the food is going through this channel. So mouth, esophagus, and stomach, and there's a chance, like because like as I said, that virus can attach to the epithelial line of those mouth or GI tract. There is that AC2 receptor, like that enzyme on those cell lining of that GI tract. So And yeah, it is true that the pH level of the stomach acid can kill the virus, because pH is like, if this empty stomach, pH is around 2, but when we are eating, so if it is full stomach, our pH level little bit goes high when inside the stomach, like when food is inside the stomach. So it can kill the the uh, the virus, but before it goes to the stomach, it can infect us. So then so uh, so to like so to be safe, so we have to follow the safe food handling procedure every day. It's not to save from the virus, because it is also like there are some bacterial disease, and like some virus that is foodborne, uh, that can cause the foodborne illness. So we have to follow the, like, in day-to-day activities we should follow. And also I'm working in the food service industry, so we follow the in the food plants, there's some food safe food safe food handling practices. And also the, like, the the restaurants, and I worked with Toronto Airport also previously. So, uh, like in the airport food, we have to make sure that we're following this proper food safety procedure to make the food safe for the guests or the customers. Also, I worked in the hospital, also for the hospital patient food. Those steps for we should follow. These steps is almost same in if you are following in home or in restaurant or in a hospital, anywhere. So like uh, so we can follow the same steps everywhere. So like first steps, like if you are getting food, getting from the from store or grocery store or the market, when you're getting the food, first step should be we should rinse the food. Like if the fresh food and vegetable we're getting, so we should rinse the fresh food and vegetable. uh, but not don't use like their popular myth is that we should use the soap and water or any disinfectant to disable the bacteria or virus from the food. It is not likely. It's just simple rinsing will be enough. uh, and so but but one thing to say here, um, we should not rinse the meat or poultry when we are uh, getting getting from the from the store or market, because there is a research done done before that if we wash poultry or any meat, so there is a chance that poultry usually contains naturally occurring bacteria like salmonella or E. coli. Is in the poultry, any chicken product or any turkey or any other product. So when we are washing, there's a there's a chance to splash the water, and it can splash to the surrounding areas. Like if you have food side by the side of the uh, um, like if you raw food and raw like the chicken or poultry, and there is a wash plate side by the side of where you're washing the chicken in your kitchen counter, so it can splash to the like plate. And so bacteria can be on the plate, and when you're eating on the cooked food with that plate, so it can go and it is norm is don't wash the raw meat or poultry when like you are getting from the store or grocery store. So because when you are cooking the meat and poultry, it can kill the virus or bacteria. So cooking stage can kill your like harmful organisms. And another thing is like when you're using canned food or like canned pop, uh, there is the opening of the pop. There is a chance there is a bacteria or virus, like bacteria can grow on that lining of the canned food, or even like the for COVID. It's like if like when it is in the store, can was touched by so many people, so same can. So if the can, you got the can that was touched by another person before who was um, COVID affected, so it may transfer to you. So we should like the clean and disinfect that can before opening, or even like the open touching your with the lips, like when you're drinking the pop. So another step we follow in the industry, also we should follow in the at home. So any potentially PHF, it's like potentially hazardous food we are getting, it should go out of the temperature danger zone. I'll explain the temperature danger zone shortly. So out of temperature danger zone as soon as possible. So what I mean that like food that can um, food where bacteria can grow, some food bacteria can grow very easily, like meat, poultry, egg. These are hazardous food. We consider as a potentially hazardous food. So it can grow, bacteria can grow on that. So we should not keep those food in a danger zone, like where like the temperature range where bacteria can grow, like it helps bacteria growing. So we should we should remove those food and keep it in the freezer, like as soon as possible when you're getting the food from outside. Uh, so we should not leave it on the counter or kitchen counter on outside for a long time. So it can bacteria can grow, and it can possibly like cause problem, so cause diseases. So in the industry, food service industry, so we follow the 5 to 60 range. It is the temperature danger zone we follow. Like we should keep, or we have to keep, like any food what we are getting uh, below 5. So basically we follow below 4 degree. Or if you are cooking the food or keeping the food hot, like in the restaurants, like or any like when you're like in the food plants, they're keeping the food and packaging, that time food should be stayed below 4 degree or above 60 degree, because it was found that bacteria cannot grow below 4 degree, or if it is bacteria can die if it is above 60 degree. And we follow in uh, like in this industry, like when we get the food, so like from the supplier or something like that. So if we get the food from supplier, and like meat or any milk or poultry, like we usually record the temperature when what is getting. So basically we record the temperature of the poultry. Say for example, I got the poultry, my plant got the poultry this morning from the supplier, and then uh, and we cannot like use that poultry to make some product uh, maybe 2 days or 3 days. So we have like usually 30 minutes to 1 hour window to transfer that to the freeze or freezer, depending on when we'll be using it. So if we are using it 1 or 2 days after, so we can put it in the freeze. And if we are using it for later days, like weeks or months, then we can put it in the freezer. So same applies to the at home also. So and another thing to follow during the during day-to-day activities, that cleaning and sanitize or the counter kitchen surface. So because like we have food residue, or if you're making the food cooking food and chopping vegetables or chopping meat, there should be food residue on the counter where you are using the preparing the food. So there is a potential to grow microorganisms inside those food residues. So if you leave it like that and then just uh, make another food after maybe 4 or 5 hours, and then this is likely to microorganism can grow on that food, and it can contaminate the next food what we're making. Uh, so idea is to clean and sanitize, not only clean, because in like I'm telling that it's for home also. We follow it in industry all the time, because one batch we are making one batch of food we are making uh, during the day, and once a batch making is done, they clean and sanitize the surface, and then next batch can start. So we cannot the mix match two batches and then don't clean the surface. So same applies to like a home also. So we should always uh, clean and sanitize the surface. So to sanitize, we can use a like normal disinfectant. You can get it from the like from stores. But in industry, we use mainly quartz sanitizer, and also sometimes chlorine based sanitizer. But mainly we use the quartz sanitizer in a 200 ppm concentration, so that can kill the bacteria or any microorganism on the surface. Uh, another thing we always follow, and we should follow at home also, like to prevent cross contamination when we are making the food. So so that like microorganisms are with any food, like we are getting the vegetables or meat. There are microorganisms there. Some has more, some has less. Like mainly the poultry. Like in this picture, I have the poultry one. So poultry is the most dangerous one. Is we have poultry has salmonella and E. coli. Mainly, it's always there. So it's naturally occurring. Naturally, it's there. So you cannot remove it before even buying it. So the idea is we should not like cut basically cut the like meat and vegetables together. So like it can cross contaminate the other food. Basically, say for example, we are eating we cut in a cutting board, or in a cutting knife, or any cutting utensils like a cutting knife. So we are cutting the meat, and then we cut the like regular vegetable, and we're eating the vegetable. Like sometimes we eat raw vegetables also, like tomato and uh, onions. Those we can be infected from what bacteria or any microorganism on the meat that can infect us, because those vegetable is not going through the cooking process. So prevent the cross contamination. Also, there is a cross contamination is important, because uh, like it's not only North America, it's like in India also, like some food has allergic substance, like the peanuts. We have like shellfish, peanuts, egg. Those can create some people allergic reaction. So it is very important to not to mix match different types of food. So like if you're making something with the peanut in it, and next food you're making something not without a peanut or something like that. So we should not make like prepare in the without cleaning that counter surface, cleaning and sanitizing the counter surface, or so between the two process. So basically what happens, like if somebody has peanut allergy, and maybe we make the food together, like with some food with peanut and some food without peanut, but the person who is like allergic to peanut getting the non-peanut food. But as we made the food together, there is a chance to get the kind of allergic reaction for the, and it's dangerous because so it is dangerous for the person who has the peanut allergy. So, and it's a life-threatening situation. So like in industry we follow it very well. So we have like color coded, we use the color coded system like the cutting board, and also uh, um, color coded surface. So like this surface is like we usually use the cutting boards or color coded surface, like okay, this surface is only used for the non-allergic food, like the no peanut food or no shellfish. We can use this cutting board, or other cutting board we can use the for other food. So even at home we should follow these things, like if you have anybody in who have allergic to any certain food, like so then we should follow this. Like if your family members, one person has peanut allergy, you should follow those things while making the food. And one thing it came like we're following more during the, like mainly at home, we're following uh, the clean and sanitize the packaging. Usually we don't do it during the uh, in the industry, but like food packaging I'm talking about. So but due to COVID, so like because uh, coronavirus can survive on the surface of the packaging for some time. So if you're getting the packaged food from outside, and then uh, bringing to home, so we should clean and sanitize the surface before storing it in the freezer or like in storage compartment. So next step is like this is very important step, like everyone knows. So we cook food for eating. So but cooking is very important for like keeping the food safe. So and is in applies to in at home and also for industry in the food plant. If in the food plant we're batch cooking some food and packaging it. So there's we follow the certain procedures, like before cooking, the temperature what we start, and then what temperature the cooking should reach, like the like product should reach. So there is a chart we follow, like for poultry product we follow is usually 74 degree or some or more. Like if we cook the poultry, if it is a beef or ground beef, it is 71 degree centigrade, or if it is a whole chicken or whole turkey, it is more than 85 degree. And that temperature should reach, like the temperature, we mean that internal temperature of the food, not only outside the temperature, outside temperature, because it has found that okay, so if outside of the food the temperature it reaches the actual temperature very quickly, but internal temperature of the food, it takes time to reach. So when in the industry, like we check the temperature, we always check the temperature before in the restaurants, or also if in the like a hospital. So when they're making the food for the patient, so they always check the temperature of the food what was cooking, to make sure that when food was cooked to the proper temperature, and any microorganism in the food that is killed. So so temperature is very important. Even with COVID, there are some research has done that if we cook any food on up to 70 degree, or 5 minutes for 70 degree, or 30 minutes for 56 degree centigrade, that can inactivate the COVID virus. So I know at home we don't use the thermometers to check the temperature, but I can say that we should cook properly. Like if we are using the pressure cooker temperature usually goes like beyond like 100 degree. It's not that is below 70 or something like that. So or usually if we cook properly, the temperature goes uh, like above 70 or 80, like what is the standard. And as everybody knows, like another thing we follow in the industry to be safe are like hand washing. But hand washing, one thing, it was due to COVID, everybody knows the proper procedure of hand washing. But when I started as a food safety trainer in my first job, like in a hospital, so I used to train people how to properly hand wash the hand. Like there's some steps, so it's not that you just take the soap and just like wash on some surface and then rinse the hand. There's some steps to follow to do the hand washing. So usually 5 or 6 steps we can say. Like the first um, wet your hand, then use the soap and rub your hand every surface and between the fingers and for at least 20 minutes. That now everybody knows that process. But before COVID, because before COVID, it's like it was we had to train everybody. Like we had to train the workers to like how to wash hand properly. And I used to follow. Like if I was going to audit any food area, like I used to audit also the food safety audit. I used to do the food safety audit for different units for us, like in the hospital. So I used to go to the hospital and watch how the food service workers who are making the food, how they're washing the hands. So usual norm is in the industry, we should wash hand every 30 minutes or um, like between any between two different foods. So if you're making chicken and then if you're handling the raw vegetable, so in between you should wash hand properly. So I used to watch that and like train people on the hand washing procedure. So this this is the last part of my I'm almost done. So it's my last part of my presentation. So what like the impact of COVID-19 in the food industry. So COVID-19 has impacted all industry. Like it's not only food, only like I used to work in airport before, and airport airlines industry was totally like disrupted due to COVID, and also same as food. So um, like restaurant chains are like affected. Uh, uh, Also, what I can say, like food plants, because people are getting infected and then they have to close the food plant, so stop making the food. So that affected a lot, like people lost jobs, and so now it's getting back. So in mainly I can say for Canada, obviously, so we are saying that we are getting back to normal after this impact, because like in Canada we are not getting that many infections every day, and government is opening like we are in third stage, and in Toronto we are in third stage of opening now. So we opened restaurants are opening, and the food plants and like grocery store, those are all open now. So we are following some like like basic thing to keep our food area safe. So like in our uh, like the unit I work now, so we're following like strict social distancing rule between the outside like customers, and also like inside the like inside the like our workers also. We always follow social distancing and use a mandatory mask. That is mandatory now everywhere. If you are entering any premises, we have to use the mask. There is no excuse. And anybody is coming to the premises, we just used to and we had a logbook. We keep a log and who is coming. If they don't have mask, we are just putting them away. uh, Also, we are following, like, in food establishment, in hospital, airport, also in regular restaurants. So we're following the, like we're monitoring the traffic. Before, it was not like that. Like, if we are entering, like I'm entering in a restaurant, there is no uh, usually we can go different directions. Like inside the restaurants, we can go, or we can roam around, and we can sit anywhere. But now it stopped. So there is, we place the floor plan, like floor directions, and we always follow the one-way traffic inside the any food establishments. So if you are going this way, and then you have to come the other way. And also restaurants and food cafeterias, and also hospital like cafeterias. So they have reduced the sitting areas, so that there is less interaction between people. So yeah, they reduce the capacity. Like if one restaurant can hold, yeah, before it was 100 people, now they're doing 50% capacity. And the and as I discussed, the safe food handling practices, we're following that throughout the industry. So I was discussing that those steps: cooking, cooling, sanitizing, those steps. We call it HACCP steps. Like, oh, it called, I didn't mention before, but it those steps are in our, like, we do it in HACCP logs. Like, in the food establishment, we keep a log. It's called HACCP. Like, it name as hazard analysis critical control point. So we analyze the hazard, like, of the food we are making. So if you're making chicken, so what is the hazard with that? Like, we can this it is salmonella is in that, E. coli is in that. So we analyze the hazard. Then there is a critical control point, means like those like some point of cooking the food, there is some points that can kill the bacteria or any microorganisms in the food. So, like, it's a cooking step. So like, uh, if the temperature is going to 75-degree, that's the point. So we have to cook until that point. So those all covers under HACCP. So that we are maintaining throughout all our food establishment. Sanitization, hand sanitizer, all over the place. Any, not only hand sanitizer, we are. It was not before, like like COVID. Non-food contact surfaces, it is frequently cleaned now, sanitized now. We are using now hydrogen peroxide for doing that. So hydrogen peroxide solution. So every food contact surface, like doors, like any if anybody is entering, like if it's a restaurant, it is in the tables, chairs, handles, um, in the washroom, everywhere. They have to follow, like they have to clean and sanitize in high touch surfaces. um, and Enforcing the hand washing. Hand washing was enforced before also, like before COVID also. We used to, it was mandatory for the food service worker to follow the hand washing procedure and hand wash frequently. But now it's more strict, more frequently washed. So, like, uh, um, any food safety professionals is going to the any establishments, and they usually follow those things, like if their workers are washing hands properly, or maintaining those safe food handling procedures properly. So those are, the industry is getting back. So our so uh, and in perspective of Canada, it is getting better. Everything is opening. So hope for the best. So hopefully it will be COVID will be gone. I don't know, maybe soon or maybe after some time, but hopefully it will be gone, and then we'll be back to normal soon. So that's it from my presentation. So if there is any questions or anything, so I'm just like as Dr. Mukherjee said, we'll be getting the questions after the presentation from Dr. Harpreet. So talk to you soon. Thank you for giving me opportunity to talk. So thank you very much.
We want him on the screen. Due to some technical errors, we couldn't bring Sir on the screen before Prosen's presentation. So I'll request the backstage editor of Mukherjee to bring Shashikant Tiwari Sir on screen for Sir's inputs.
Is it audible? Hello? Can you listen to me? Hello?
Yes, sir, we can listen to you. I think there may
Yeah.
be some technical snags with Bidyut Mukherjee, so please just hold on for them because I think there is some net issues over there.
Okay.
I think, sir, you may continue with your anything, sir, because Dr. Bidyut Mukherjee's audio is being disconnected for some technical reason. If you want to continue, sir, you just continue.
Should I
And
speak
nice to have
something?
you in our show, sir.
Okay. Uh, so should I talk something? Hello?
Yes, sir, you can just speak on,
Okay.
sir. The host microphone just turned off. You can speak, sir.
Okay. Okay.
And thanks for coming to our show, sir.
Okay. First, let me thank our N.I.H Alumni Association, which has hosted this very important talk on this food safety and perspectives of homeopathy in Canada, because now present time is time of the crisis for the because of the COVID-19. And I heard Prosen Shane was talking on safety of the food, and he has explained nicely about the procedures undertaken in the Canada. I know they are very developed country and they follow very strict procedures. Even before COVID, they had a lot of cleanliness and hygienic measures in all superstores and all stores of the food. But now they have become strict. It's very nice that he has also explained how to clean hands, which is now being no doubt followed, and how to cook food above 75 degree. This is very important topic because food is very important thing in our life, and without food nobody can live. If food is infected, then the whole system will be disorder. And I recall Dr. Boger, he died because of the canned food he took, which was infected, and because of the food poisoning due to canned food, he we lost a very important person before he completed his second edition of BVCR. So it's a very important thing. In homeopathy, you see, even from the Boninghausen lesser writing, you will say, he talks about the diet, food, cleaning, and the procedure for making food more and more healthy. Even if you remember the master, he talks something about aphorism 3, aphorism 4. He talks about a physician knows what are the things which derange the health and how to make them better for the person. Then he talks about exciting cause in the 5th aphorism. So all these are very important for a homeopath. And in this present crisis of COVID-19, it has become more and more important. And I know all our my colleagues, all our friends homeopaths, they give a lot of importance to the diet, and now a lot of importance is being given how to make the diet more and more hygienic, keeping sanitation as a very core thing in the food safety. So I congratulate Prosen for having a good presentation, giving a very knowledgeable talk on food safety, and I wish next speaker will talk something more about food as well as something about homeopathy in Canada. So with this, I will listen to the second person, second presenter, Harpreet Kaur, and then I will come back afterwards. Thank you all very much. You can go ahead with the next presentation.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for your inputs. And I'll request Dr. Harpreet Kaur, who had done his BHMS from National Institute of Homeopathy, to present her paper now. And it will be very interesting. She will be briefing about homeopathy in Canada and later on the current COVID situation. Now, over to you, Harpreet.
All right. Hello, everybody. Good morning, everyone. Actually, it's evening for most of you. It's indeed bright Sunday morning here. Before I even begin, thanks to Alumni Association for inviting me to speak today. And a very warm regards to Dr. Kalyani sir, Dr. Shashikant Tiwari sir, and Dr. Bidyut sir. It's indeed a pleasure. I always wanted, every time I go to India, I always think that I am going to visit N.I.H one day, but it just, my plan just crashes every time. But I'm very glad that I was invited today and I can actually join this team platform. So I'll start my presentation. Before even I begin with, I'll tell a brief about myself. My name is Harpreet Kaur and I am 11th batch N.I.H alumni, and I have bachelor's, of course, B.H.M.S and bachelor's in psychology and diploma in nutrition and health education. I'm a holistic health coach as well. I moved to Canada almost 13 years back, and since then I have been practicing homeopathy here. I'm located in central Canada. I am a licensed physician and I have a clinic of my own. I was very fortunate enough to start my practice as soon as I came here. I am successfully treating varied ranges of patients here, acute as well as chronic. So today I'm invited to speak about homeopathy in Canada, and a little later we'll share my thoughts related to the ongoing pandemic as well. So let's begin. Before I begin, I'll just start to share my screen here. Just a second. All right. Yes. So to begin with, Canada does recognize homeopathy as a natural healing therapy and categorize it under the broad umbrella of naturopathy. In Canada, every occupation is given a code under a classification system called NOC, National Occupational Classification. It is designed to classify occupational information from statistical surveys. And under that, homeopaths have been given NOC code 3232. that is practitioners of natural healing. And we are categorized here amongst other like acupuncturists and herbalists and reflexologists, etc. here. It is important to note that Health Canada regulates healthcare products, but not the practice of medicine by healthcare practitioners. These responsibilities fall under the jurisdiction of Canada's provincial and territorial governments. Homeopathic medicines are regulated in Canada by Health Canada, the federal government department, and it's responsible for ensuring the safety, efficacy, and compositional integrity of healthcare products distributed and sold in Canada. Health Canada has formally recognized homeopathic medicines as a pharmaceutical product since 1990. The Natural Health Products Act came into force in 2004, and the definition of NHP contained in the NHP regulation defines all the natural health products as drug products as opposed to foods, and they include homeopathic medicines. We all know about DIN numbers, drug identification number. However, the product licensings granted to homeopathic medicines here in Canada by Health Canada have a unique product identifier. It is D.N.H.E. So drug identification number, homeopathic medicine, to enable consumers and healthcare practitioners to more easily identify homeopathic medicines in the Canadian market. The NHP Directorate facilitates the appropriate regulation of thousands of homeopathic medicines. It is important to note that labeling standards clearly define how homeopathic medicines may be labeled and what indications for use are specifically permitted, because they're very strict in labeling nosodes, for example. They have requested to include a statement of nosode labels. Every bottle of the nosodes that come, it has to have this, these lines in, like, I can read it for you, that this product is neither a vaccine nor an alternative to vaccination. This product has not been proven to prevent infection. Health Canada does not recommend its use in children and advises that your child receive all routine vaccination, because vaccination is a big thing here. And you cannot say anything against vaccinations here. So that is why nosodes labeling comes into play, and NHP regulations are very strict in that. And Health Canada has almost approved 8,500 homeopathic medicines till date. And medicines are very readily available, ranging from mother tinctures, CM scale, decimal scale, 50 millisimal scale, and biochemic medicines, etc. There's a database on the Health Canada website that lists these approved products. So, but there are some substances that are not regulated. Here's a list that you can see on your screen. Yeah. So all these medicines, we can't keep it in our clinic. I miss my strontian carb most of the time with ankle sprains and everything, but that's how it is. These are not regulated substances, and we cannot keep this in the clinic. So this was about the homeopathic medicines. So as I mentioned, that regarding regulation of homeopathy, the healthcare practitioners fall under the jurisdiction of Canada's provincial and territorial governments. So in all of the Canada except Ontario, homeopathy is a non-regulated occupation till now. A job in a non-regulated occupation is one for which you don't need a license, certificate, or registration to work. And most of the insurance companies don't cover you. A job at this time, Ontario is the only province that regulates homeopaths. College of Homeopaths of Ontario was established and to govern the homeopathy in Ontario. On April 2015, the Homeopathy Act 2007 was proclaimed, and then the Transitional Council of College of Homeopaths of Ontario officially became the new College of Homeopaths of Ontario. It was an essential effort to gain public confidence in the practice of homeopathy and I must say, to end quackery that is very much rampant here. And the College of Homeopaths of Ontario is a statutory body mandated to regulate the homeopathic profession. And as like other colleges anywhere, the mission of this college is to protect the public interest through self-regulations of the practice of homeopathy by setting standards for competent and ethical practice. There are various associations across Canada besides Ontario offering memberships mainly to maintain and promote high standards of performance by all registered members, promote and encourage professional development, growth, and renewal. And it exemplifies the codes of professional conduct and protects the public welfare as well. And the most important, I think that all of this is enhancing the visibility of the profession. So but now the part that I really don't like talking about is limitation, but we have a lot of limitations here as well, because under the Homeopathy Act 2007, the scope of practice is defined as the assessment of body system disorders and treatment using homeopathic techniques to promote, maintain, or restore health. But it does not give homeopaths the rights to other medical tests, investigations. So we mainly rely on the modern system medicines to run tests and investigations for the patients. And then we can subsequently ask the patients to show us the records. So, we are very restricted in that sense. We are not allowed to make any diagnosis. And the most important, we can't advise against the modern system medicines. You are taken to task very easily. So, and the homeopaths avoid conducting a physical examination of the patient. And the most important, which I have always, this disheartened me quite a bit, was regarding the use of title doctor. After this Regulation Act, we can't use the title of doctor. I mean, I can't use Dr. Harpreet Sahni. I can use Doctor of Homeopathy. I can use homeopathic physician, but unfortunately, I can't. I can use that, only in India when I'm traveling. So, and one more thing, to make the matters a little bit more tough, here the allopathic consultations are free of cost. So majority of the medicines are covered by insurance companies. So that this makes the matters more difficult. And but with homeopathy, when a person is coming to see a homeopath, he has to pay from their own pocket. So they have this thing that going to an allopathic physician, they have everything free, everything is covered. But then they are coming to you when you're asking them to pay, then sometimes it becomes a deterrent. So when I started practicing here, most of the patients that I saw in my practice were very, very complex cases, awaiting surgeries or people wanting to see specialists and already undergoing complex treatments. Here I would really like to mention one thing, that I could only see those patients with confidence just because I graduated from N.I.H. I was very blessed to learn from great stalwarts in N.I.H. I don't say that I practice just one style of homeopathy. I have learned how to give one constitutional, one palliative, and one biochemic remedy from Dr. Dubey's clinic, and I've learned how to give the so-called small and rare medicines from Dr. Sarkar's clinic. I've also learned how to diagnose and treat and palliate from attending hours and hours of Dr. Pralay sir's very, very extensive and busy OPD. Whereas I must mention that I've also learned how to prescribe sepia and natrimur and thuja with patience and conviction and great perseverance from Dr. Adhikari sir in ever-increasing LM potencies. Uh, and I have learned how to explore the mental sphere from Dr. L.M. Khan sir. And I keenly turn the pages of my LM remembering Dr. Azid Khan sir's trio. So you know what? With great pride, I try to equip my armor with all this knowledge and tackle my patients here. Most of the many people here, or many colleagues who are here, might see a reflection of atypical homeopath, and I'm going to talk about some things here in me. But I just focus on the last verdict that the patient has to pass when they say homeopathy saved me. Trust me, my friends, that verdict in foreign land with restrictions make me a very proud N.I.H alumni. And I'm thankful to all my teachers, my seniors, my colleagues, and my juniors for all that support. All right. Now let's come to the burning topic of the COVID-19. All right. So with this ongoing pandemic, these are my my opinions in this, and I think we should consider arsenic album or genus epidemicus, for that matter, as a foot in the door. I will elaborate it a little bit. Most people across the world now know about the remedy arsenic album thanks to WhatsApp and social media. But we all know that all the COVID cases will not get better with that, or nor will get prevented by that. But at least we will have people inquiring about the particular homeopathic medicine, and we can use that opportunity to educate people about what homeopathy has to offer to them. We can educate people regarding the constitutional treatment, how homeopathic medicine work. You know what? It is very important for me here, rather than in India, because people are not aware about homeopathy. I had people calling me and asking me that, do you have arsenic album? Will this help me in the pandemic? So I had people here who are taking constitutional treatments from me, and I have continued with that, not giving them arsenic in between. But to some people, yes, I have started with the genus epidemicus. So and my opinion here is that we have to equip ourselves with the vast array of symptoms related to COVID, directly or indirectly as well. COVID, it's just like that ancient mythological Leonid Hydra. COVID has many heads. We have to get well versed with all the heads that we might come across this pandemic, related directly or indirectly. I'm not going to focus on the main symptoms of COVID, as you people are seeing far more cases than I've seen till date. But I'm tackling indirectly linked patients to this pandemic all the time. I'll elaborate the indirect, what I mean by indirect. As people are coming with the fear psychosis, OCD, loneliness, depression, suicidal tendencies, social aloofness, uh, asthmatic exacerbations, breathing troubles, and skin flare-ups, chemical poisonings. So we will definitely see all these related symptoms in future, or as this situation is going to linger for some time. The most important being fear psychosis revolving around the COVID, sense of insecurity. What if I get COVID? What if a small flu is COVID? Am I suffering from that? So as a homeopath, that those mental symptoms really give us the edge over other system, because we can deal with that state of mind where a patient is coming and saying that, oh, you know what, I'm scared, or if they have to go to allopathic doctors, they don't have anything to offer to them. But we have that upper edge. 99% of the patients who are not suffering from that are suffering from that fear psychosis right now. For me, as a mother of two kids who are going to resume school, I'm having those apprehension things that, what if, how will I send my kid? So I always describe it to my patients that homeopathy doesn't change your situation, but it has the capacity to change the perspective to your situation. So how you're going to react to it. So I was, just making some notes. I was trying to go through the pages of repertory, and I would like to share some rubrics with you guys. I'm sure they might sound familiar to you. Like people will come because they're reading so many of things in the newspapers and whatnot. So I was going through the rubric that mind horrible things, sad stories affect, uh, and we have fear, danger of impending, and then we have diseases of impending, you know, anxieties. So we have this edge, and we have to equip ourselves. We have to start reading those things. Here, you know what? I'll mention one case here, which came to me in June. The patient had a little bit of flu, but really was anxious and thought that he has COVID. All he was thinking 24/7 was his health, and thought he won't get well, and was again and again saying that I don't know what is happening to me. One important symptom I came across was that he used to come to me with so much of unrest. And when I would make him understand that no, these are just the, these are the symptoms, you don't have the COVID symptoms, you'll be fine, because I accept, I saw that these symptoms are not related to COVID, but he was really, really anxious. So you don't have those symptoms, you'll be fine. All of a sudden he felt relieved. Here we see that when there's a build of the flutters is kind of unrest for the person, and once released, patient gets relieved. So I was seeing that we have flutters amelioration in generalities, and then we have flutters amelioration in abdomen, and then we have flutters amelioration in mind. So because of this buildup of this anxiety in mind, and when it was released, he felt relief immediately. It may be temporary, but he did feel better after that release. So I did some research, and I was looking into the interpretations of the rubrics and everything, and I took this rubric as well, and I did my case analysis, and gave him calcarea carb, and few doses he was better. I had to give him calcarea carb 200 as well, and he responded to the treatment very well. All his anxiety, all his everything was gone. He was attending to his office every day now, and so he was fine. I did this repertorial analysis. You know what? I will share one experience here, and just to make some things lighter here, I fondly remember one incident that happened in the internship days in N.I.H OPD. I would share that. I was in final year at that time, and my cousin from Chicago, she sent me a very purple, beautiful Littmann stethoscope. I was really excited to get that. And that day we had this medicine OPD in Dr. S.C. Desar's class. What a fantastic teacher he was. And with great pride, I was wearing my purple stetho on white coat and standing there, beaming with happiness. And a patient came which had murmur, and sir wanted us to auscultate and tell us what was it. And he, being such a great observer, must have observed me and my new position. And he said to me, hey Litman, ekhane esho. I came forward, and he said, bol to ki ache? And I started hearing with, of course, my new Litman, and could just hear the heartbeat. I was trying hard to understand the condition, and within 20 seconds, sir tapped at my shoulder, and grinning from side to side, he said to me, Kire, tor Litman bolche na? So, and everyone was laughing, and I was completely, red. But when I think about it, is the takeaway from this is that sometimes we start relying so much on our equipments that we differ from the real thing. So what here I'm trying to say is, repertorization is one brilliant tool, but if we repertorize each and every case, it might distract us. This is my opinion. You can definitely disagree with me, but I do repertorize my cases most of the time, but sometimes, and in fact most of the time, you just know how to tackle your acutes. During this pandemic, I have been seeing patients with wide symptoms. I have been successfully treating them with medicines starting from Bryonia, Gilsemium, Coccus cacti, Calabi, Senega, ammonium brome, Entium tart, Nux moscata, Oxymum sanctum, Pix liquida, Piper nigrum, phosphorus. So these are just to name few. So as I was saying, that we are very much blessed that we are in that kind of community which can take care of these fear psychosis very well, as no other system can do it. So this is our edge over any other pathy right now. And so apart from that, there are problems arising from over sanitization, skin diseases related to over sanitizations. We should actually get very well versed with symptomatology of chemical inhalation toxicity. Hand sanitizers rampant use can lead to asthma flare-ups, skin ailments, and digestive tract abnormalities. Excessive washing of hands, eczema flare-up, and wearing latex gloves. I'm seeing these patients all day because so many patients are working as a cashier, they're working in the stores. So they're seeing this all the time. I had another day one lady, she her hands are turned into like a weeping eczema. She has to wear gloves, and then she has to wear some she's sanitizing so many times, 1,000 times in a day. So and we have medicines there, and we can definitely help. So again, we have a lot of edge over any other pathy right now. So inhaling large amount of isopropyl alcohol can cause nausea, vomiting, irritation of the nose and mucous membranes, throat irritation, whatnot, and even difficulty with breathing. And again, I had some rubrics that we can definitely look into it and prepare our medicines accordingly, because at least for me, I go through all these rubrics and see if there are some rare medicines, or if there are medicines that I need to pre-order, because I can't just get the medicines from the stores here. We have to place an order and take. So I was going through these rubrics, which might be of some interest to you guys as well. So generalities: gases, fumes, smokes, vapors aggravate sensitive, oversensitive odors to chemicals. And then headache. I actually saw one patient with this headache. She, because of this so much of sanitizers, she was having a headache. This medicine, which is mentioned in Allen, was it's a rare medicine. I don't have it right now. I've ordered it. And aggravation, spirits after abuse of people can come with claustrophobic. They feel claustrophobia. They feel claustrophobic with the mask on, and mind fear, suffocation of, asthmatic complaints of. This is a very common symptoms that we will see that, because people who are having breathing difficulties. I was asthmatic, and I to wear a mask, it's a problem for me sometimes. So, and these are not the atypical symptoms. This we are going to see it all the time. And asthmatic, arthritis and rheumatism flare up, washing hands frequently. People are wetting up their hands. It's all the damn things. So we can sort our medicines according to do. I know some people will say it's favorite medicine, or we have to take the whole case, but sometimes in the acute cases you have to, you know so these are just the examples of scenarios that we should dig into and be prepared, as we will be seeing plenty of cases with similar troubles. This whole pandemic thing is just not going to disappear like a, it's not going to disappear. It is here to stay. It's kind of a lifestyle change that we have to adopt to it. And then we can tell the patients that this is what we have to offer. So and now coming on to very important aspect of this whole pandemic scenario, social media. Google doctors. I'm sure you would agree with me that you guys are also seeing patients with too much of information. They're coming, taking all the information from social media, and they're binging on the supplements and herbal decoctions and all the herbal remedies. There's nothing wrong in that, but we have to equip ourselves with that knowledge of those supplements and herbs, their sphere of actions and adverse effects too. If some patient is coming to you saying that I'm having itching all over the body, mere taking aggravation and amelioration is not going to work. In some of the cases, we have to know that oh, he has been taking some kind of herbal decoctions, and most of the time those herbal decoctions, if taken, they lead to some sort of liver cleanse, and in absence of ample amount of water intake and enough minerals, it can lead to toxins being circulated in the body and leading to itching. So we have to know what is there to be treated. So we have to take a holistic approach. Here I'm sure all of you would say that homeopathy is holistic, but I'm talking about the approach which goes beyond homeopathic medicines as well. That's why I like to call it deeply holistic. I'm fortunate enough to have gained experience in those fields, and I urge all my fellow homeopaths to explore those less traversed methods as well, about which Henneman have also talked about, or rather, I should say, just gave some hints about in the later aphorisms in Organon. We have to strive and become experts in homeopathic medicines and holistic approach, no doubt, but we also have to brace ourselves with the latest techniques and procedures and knowledge which can actually make us healers by restoring mind, body, and spirit balance, and thus leading to permanent restoration of the health. So, in addition to taking symptoms, we have to be aware of the side effects of the supplements, herbal decoctions, what are their values, what can they cause, what we have to stop them from taking, what are we going to advise. So we have to actually know, as Eneman also said, that every physician has to know what is treatable in the disease. For example, detox rash, the main organs that are capable of flushing out unwanted toxins and chemicals from the body are liver, kidney, GI system, and the skin. Your skin plays an active role in the elimination process through your pores, and since we sweat through our pores, a common skin reaction that is described by certain detox regimes, which trust me, many people at least here are taking. Oh, we are doing detox, and in India too, so many people are going on to herbal things to do whatnot. To some people have issues to lose weight, or and so many other things, and even for this COVID preventions, an elimination diet. It's the main symptom is red, bumpy, itchy skin rash. So we have to acquire that knowledge so that when we can be one-stop shop of healing for the suffering patients. The patient don't have to, I'll give you one example here. I have one patient who came with mouth ulcers, and on inquiring, I came to know that he has been gargling with rum, and as someone said on internet that it can save you from viral infections, he had ulcers in his mouth. I just gave him calendula drops to gargle and peel, and he was better in few days, and gave him knowledge, that these are not the things, you have to do these things. People are stressed at this point of time, and they will do whatever anyone will tell them to do, even including our family members. But as physicians, it is our duty to not only select appropriate remedies, but also guide them with providing the right informations. So we have to have those information, the information about the supplements. So I will talk about four main supplements here today: vitamin C and vitamin D, zinc, and green tea. So let's talk about vitamin C. All right. So if vitamin C, for recommended daily amount of for vitamin C is 65 to 90 milligrams a day, and the upper limit is 2000 milligram a day. Although too much dietary vitamin C is unlikely to be harmful, but mega doses of vitamin C supplements might cause diarrhea, nausea, vomiting, heartburn, abdominal cramps, headache, insomnia. There was a trial in physically active young men who were only physically active doing gym and whatnot. Supplements of vitamin C 1 gram per day resulted in increased post-exertional delayed muscular soreness to placebo. So if a patient comes to your clinic saying that, oh, I have been exercising a lot from many years, but I don't know why I am so sore these days. So your case taking process has to be focusing on what supplements he's taking. So maybe this supplement has caused this delayed into this post-exertional delayed muscular soreness. So we have to take all these points into consideration, and these things we have to get this knowledge, so to get to the exact symptoms. One more thing, most of the supplements, the chewable supplements, contain artificial sweeteners, sorbitol or xylitol. They can cause or aggravate diarrhea, especially at high doses. Some people might not be, doing well with that. So we have to be thorough in asking them what kind of supplements are they taking. And caution, in pregnancy, high doses of vitamin C have been associated with more low birth babies. And here in Canada, most of the people, I mean, I would not say most, at least majority of the people are taking over-the-counter aspirin and non-steroidal NSAIDs, non-steroidal anti-inflammatory drugs. So the high doses of vitamin C, if you're taking along with those medicines, they make these drugs to stay in the body, raising the levels in your blood. So we have to be careful with that. So, and the most common antipyretic that is used here is acetaminophen, Tylenol. So high doses of vitamin C may lower the amount of acetaminophen passed in urine, which could cause the level of these drugs in your blood to rise. So here people follow this rule that, take acetaminophen, Tylenol every 4 hours. But if they're taking high doses of vitamin C, we got to caution them that, you know what, you have to be careful now, because it is already, the drug is not passing in your urine, and it is building up in the body. So you don't want to repeat it that often as you were doing it earlier. And similar cases is seen in even the aluminum containing antacids. Vitamin C can increase the amount of aluminum your body absorbs, which could cause the side effect of these medicines to be worse. Aluminum containing antacids include Malax or Gaviscon. So if the patient is taking any of those medicines and also binging on vitamin supplements, you can make him aware of this and switch him to dietary sources of vitamin C. If you know that, and most of the time we just stick to vitamin C as citrus food, lemon juice, but whereas there are tons of other sources. If I have to tell the list, it can go on, like, vegetables are the highest sources of vitamin C, and some of the examples are broccoli, Brussels sprouts, and cauliflower, green and red peppers, spinach, cabbage, turnip greens, other leafy greens, sweet and white potatoes for that matter, tomatoes and white tomato juice, winter squash. If we come to fruit, cantaloupe, papaya, kiwi fruit, mango, pineapples, all the berries, strawberries, raspberry, blueberries, cranberries, watermelon, they are all indeed very good sources of vitamin C. So we can always tell people to start taking those things in their diet, include in their diet, and maybe they are saved from some of the side effects of the supplements. So coming on to vitamin D, it's known as sunshine vitamin, and actually it is very important because evidence from several clinical trials and pooled studies show that vitamin D supplementation lowers the odds of developing acute respiratory tract infections, most of which are assumed to be due to viruses, by 12 to 75%. These studies include both the seasonal and pandemic flu caused by H1N1 viruses in 2009. The beneficial effect of supplementation was seen in patients across all ages and individuals with pre-existing chronic illnesses. Among those who were infected, flu symptoms were fewer, and recovery was earlier if they had received doses of vitamin D greater than 1000 IU. The Vitamin D Council, a non-profit organization based in California that works to educate the public about vitamin D, notes that there are several factors that affect how much vitamin D your body produces when your skin is exposed to sunlight. These factors include time of the year, time of the day of exposure, where you live, type of skin you are having, And even your age, your skin's ability to produce vitamin D drops with your age. If you're above 65, you generate only 1/4 of much vitamin D as you did in your 20s. So you know that your patient is coming uh, above age 65. You have to consider those things. Are you taking your vitamin Ds? Have you got it checked? So and even your weight. If you have a body mass index above 30, you may have low blood levels of vitamin D. Vitamin D is stored in fat. So in people with obesity, less of vitamin circulates in the blood where it is available for use by the body. And the food you're eating, are you eating a fortified vitamin D fortified food? And certain health conditions as well affect the vitamin D levels in your body. People with conditions such as inflammatory bowel disease, liver disease, or cystic fibrosis, among others, may have trouble absorbing vitamin D, which can lead to deficiencies. So, according to IOM, the current recommended dietary intake of 600 to 800 IU for adults under the age of 70 and 800 to 1000 IU for adults over 70 is sufficient to meet the needs of almost 98% of healthy adults who have minimal sun exposure. Liquid drops are better, my opinion. Now let's talk about excess. So vitamin D toxicity, it's known as hypervitaminosis D. It can cause the harm. So um, I will really elaborate a little bit here quickly, not taking too much of time here. Vitamin D is a fat soluble vitamin. In contrast to water soluble vitamins, the body has no easy way of getting rid of fat soluble vitamins. For this reason, excessive amounts may build up inside the body. The exact mechanism behind vitamin D toxicity is complicated and isn't fully understood at this point. However, we know that the active form of vitamin D functions in a similar way as a steroid hormone. It travels inside the cells, telling them to turn genes on or off. Usually, most of the body's vitamin D is in storage, bound to either vitamin D receptors or carrier proteins. Very little free vitamin D is available. However, when vitamin D intake is extreme, the levels can become so high that there isn't any room left on the receptors or carrier proteins. This may lead to elevated levels of free vitamin D in the body, which may travel inside cells and overwhelm the signaling processes affected by vitamin D. And one of the main signaling processes has to do with increasing the absorption of calcium from digestive system. As a result, the main symptom of vitamin D toxicity is hypercalcemia, elevated levels of calcium in the body. I actually saw the one patient with hypercalcemia, and on inquiring, she was taking she was taking those recommended not take she was not taking those recommended drops. She was told to take about 1 drop every day, and she was pouring about 10 drops every day on the tongue. Ended up in having hypercalcemia. So high calcium level can cause various symptoms, and then calcium can also bind to other tissue and damage them. These include the kidneys. So children age 9 year and older, adults and pregnant and breastfeeding women who take more than 4,000 IU a day of vitamin D might experience nausea, vomiting, poor appetite, constipation, weakness, weight loss, disorientation, heart rhythm problems, and heart problems and kidney damages. So if you talk about sources, the fatty fish like salmon, tuna, mackerel fish, and mushrooms, they are good food sources. All right, and now let's talk about the next thing that people are really are into it is zinc. So the current daily value of zinc is 11 milligram, and the tolerable upper intake levels for zinc of people who are not receiving zinc under medical supervision, because many doctors already give zinc supplements. So we have to see the patient is taking what medication are they taking. In adults 19 and older year is 40 milligram per day. And one more thing that has to be taken in account: if you are taking zinc supplement, or make sure that for 2 hours, ask the patients not to take bran or fiber containing foods, phosphorus containing food, just such as milk or poultry, whole grain breads and cereals, because it interferes with the absorption. And high zinc fruits include avocados, blackberries, pomegranates, raspberries, guavas, cantaloupes, peaches, kiwi fruits, blueberries. Berries are very good and they're very rich. Food high in zinc include oysters, beef, chicken, tofu, pork, and nuts, seeds, lentils, yogurt, oatmeal, mushrooms. Nuts and seeds are very high in zinc, and they include squash seeds, pumpkin seeds, pine nuts, cashews, sunflower seeds, pecans, chia seeds, flaxseed, ulsi, brazil nuts, and almonds. So we can ask the patients to increase those uptake of the seeds once in a while in a day, make it a portion, and they can take it. And since I told earlier in my presentation that there are many restrictions that we have to think, we cannot ask a patient to stop their medicine right away. It is their discretion. We cannot even suggest that they stop their medicine. So we have to be very sure that we have to ask that if a patient is on water pill, amiloride, it is a potassium sparing diuretic that increases level of zinc in your body. So that is a complete no-no with this for the zinc supplement. So you should see that they're not taking zinc supplements with amiloride. And high zinc intake can also lead to copper absorption. It can impede copper absorption, and it can lead to deficiencies, and it can lead to anemia, bone marrow failure, and neurological problems as well. So we have to exercise caution in using those. And then now coming on to the last supplement which I'm going to talk about is green tea. It's a green tea culture here, and it's indeed very important, very good thing to do. It is rich in polyphenols, catechins, and flavonoids, which show antioxidants, antimicrobial, alkalizing, and immune substimulating quantities. And in addition, the catechins in green tea may inhibit the growth of bacteria and some viruses, such as influenza virus, as well as lower the risk of infection. So indeed, it is a good thing. And since the late 1990s, several epidemiological studies have suggested that the regular consumption of green tea decreases influenza infection rates and some cold symptoms, and that gargling with tea catechins may protect against the development of influenza infection. So, but as with anything else, it has some things it has to be which has to be taken in account, as it contains small amount of caffeine, but it may still cause problem sleeping for people sensitive to caffeine. This is due to the fact that chemical compounds in green tea prevent the release of hormones such as melatonin, which aid in sleep. So there is another thing also in green tea. It's L-theanine, a chemical that induces calm, but it also increases alertness and focus, something that may disrupt sleep for some individuals. So now, while people may benefit from a cup of green tea before bed, people with caffeine sensitivity should consume it no later than 5 hours before bed. So again, we have to take this in consideration once we are talking to our patient, that when they are doing it, when they are not. There's no point giving them passiflora or any other, or Kelly Foss or whatever, if they're taking caffeine or green tea for that matter in the before bedtime, and they're bound to have insomnia. So, and another concern for tea lovers will be iron. Tannins and caffeine found in green tea can reduce iron absorption, especially plant-based iron. So if you're taking an iron supplement, make sure to wait at least 2 hours before sipping on your green tea. Iron deficient vegetarians and vegans should regulate their coffee and tea intake and monitor their iron stores regularly to ensure labs are improving. So compounds in green tea also decrease levels of fibrinogen, protein that helps clot blood, and it prevents oxidation of fatty acids, which can lead to thinner blood consistency. So if you're suffering from blood clotting disorder, avoid drinking green tea. uh, while 3 to 6 cup is manageable, but don't get carried away. And I think that should be all, and let's all strive hard to take this epidemic and homeopathy and serve the we should strive hard to tackle this epidemic with homeopathy and serve the serving humanity. uh, we have an edge over other pathies with our homeopathic methods, and this is the time where we tell our world that we are here to stay, and go from there. And with this I will conclude my today's presentation, and I thank Dr. Mukherjee, Dr. Kalyani sir, and Dr. Shashikant Tiwari sir, and all the N.I.H Alumni Association for inviting me and giving me a platform to share my information here. Hope this was helpful, and thank you so much, and have a good one.
It's awesome, and as beautiful as you are, a very fluent speaker throughout. And Harpreet, there are a lot of questions, but before we take on any question, with permission of Kalyani sir, let's request our moderator today, Dr. Shashikant Tiwari sir, to sum up the session. After that, or we'll take the questions.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, Dr. Bidyut Mukherjee.
Tiwari sir, Dr. Shashikant Tiwari sir.
Yeah, can you listen to me?
Yes, it is audible.
Okay. Today we had two speakers. They have done excellent job, Dr. Prosen and Dr. Harpreet. Dr. Prosen has spoken about the food safety, and he described properly and very excellently about the food industry at Canada and hygienic care they take. I have spoken earlier also. Regarding Dr. Harpreet, I am very happy to listen to her about prospective aspect of homeopathy in Canada. I was there in Canada for some time with homeopathic college. It was in Manitoba, and I used to visit them between 1908 to 2004. I went there for 5 times, and around every visit I used to be there for a month. I think they were the people having a full-time course those days, and they had 5 to 6 students every year. But what I saw, as she described, the sad part is you're not called a doctor, and you cannot give a medical certificate. Like if you have treated a patient who had some diarrhea, who had some problem, and it's a genuine case, but still you cannot give a medical certificate. So that is a sad part, and it's still in developing stage. I hope that things will improve, but I don't see much from practice point of view. One of my student also is there, still practicing. She is a member of Ontario Homeopathic Association. I was a speaker last month on Ontario Homeopathic Association about art of prescribing. There also they express the same difficulty, but hopefully the associations are working, and things will come up. Homeopathy will see one day a very good future in Canada. That is my hope. Second part, she spoke about COVID-19, and she also hold that arsenic album should be prophylactic. Most of us in India know that arsenic album has done a wonderful job. It has made homeopathy more and more popular, as she was telling that everybody is inquiring. Here also, those who are not aware of homeopathy, not aware of medicines, prophylaxis, almost everybody is talking about homeopathy. And there was a news that In Gujarat, whole state is covered by homeopathic prophylaxis, and they had a very good response, those who took homeopathy as a prophylactic, and those who took, at least they had no fatality, and their response was good, their recovery was good, and many of them did not get it. So she told also that is good. About treatment parts, she told the limitation because they are not allowed to do that. In India also for a long time homeopathy was not allowed to treat. But I will tell you one thing, few of cases most of the homeopaths have treated along with the practitioners of allopathy friends. I had one experience of a person on ventilator and oxygen level going very, very poor. So I gave arsenic album as well as vanadium 6 as alternating medicine, and he came out of ventilation, and he had a good response. So few cases here and there, asymptomatic cases, we are having very good experience. So I thank Dr. Harpreet for excellent presentation, and I hope the speaker and the practitioner like Harpreet, and if you have many of your friends like you can one day bring up homeopathy as a mainstream. And I'm happy with your confidence also, that you are confidently practicing, and you will be inspiring many of the homeopaths there, and you all will join and make homeopathy represent to the government, and then government will listen, because it's a democracy, it's a democratic country, and hopefully things will improve. With these few words, I congratulate both the speakers for having a very good talk, an excellent presentation, very informative for our Indian practicing doctors. Thank you all very much.
Thank you, sir, for your inputs, and so valuable and inspiring for the speakers today, as well as for the audience who were watching the show. And let's take few questions for the speakers. First, it was Gautam, Dr. Gautam Ghosh. He had two questions I saw in the initial stage for Dr. Prosen. Can we have the questions on the screen, please? Dr. Prosen Dash, please be on the screen. There are two questions from Dr. Gautam Ghosh. The question is, Prosen, can you read the question?
Yes, I can read the questions. The
Kalyani,
first
sir?
one,
It will be better if you just read out the question for everybody.
I can read. I can see the question in front of me. So
Okay. Instead of Prashan, you just read the question and give the answer, please.
the first one from Dr. Gautam Ghosh was, instead of washing the canned food, can we keep the can untouched in a place for a few days to destroy the virus naturally? So to answer this, like yes, we can or you cannot, because we don't know how long, because like, there is some data that okay, how long the virus survives on the surface, like a metal or any surface. So you don't still, the research is not that clear because this new data is coming. So we don't know. And if you keep it in a place in the can somewhere, so okay, maybe I can take, okay, the virus maybe after 72 hours or 4 days, 5 days, whatever, it is destroyed. But what about the bacteria? Bacteria can grow. So bacteria, if bacteria gets the favorable condition and time and temperature, like the temperature, so it can grow, and it can cause toxin, like it can create toxin. So I know virus cannot grow without the living organism, but the bacteria can grow. So it doesn't serve the purpose. Like if it's better to wash or sanitize the can, it doesn't harm. And also another thing is like, okay, there are family members in there are different family members in your same household. So you have to inform all the family members. Okay, I keep the can in separate place, so don't touch it or something like that. So like it's better to just like sanitize, because in the industry we follow like that. It's like somebody is handling the product, so we have to follow the proper procedure. We cannot keep it somewhere else to to save it. Okay, it will be not naturally, it will be going away, and without information, because like in the same food in facility or food area, there are a lot of people, so it's very hard to inform everybody and properly uh, not to do this instead of preventing it. So like just washing and sanitizing is prevention, so you are preventing uh, growing the virus, or like growing the bacteria, or like killing the virus. So it's better to sanitize. Second one was like second question was, does SARS-CoV-2 grow at 4 degree centigrade, example in home refrigerator? One thing with the virus, it is not like bacteria and other microorganism. Virus cannot grow outside a living organism. So like COVID-19 cannot grow. So if it is on the surface, whatever it is there. Once it gets into the body, then it can multiply. So it is not likely that it will multiply. But for the bacteria, yes, below 4 degree, bacteria cannot grow. It's like that was a lot of research has done in this field. So if it is below 4 degree, bacteria cannot grow and there is no problem. So so that like you can save it in the like fridge, any food. And the third one from Dr. Ghosh was how we will sanitize vegetable and chicken after borrowing from the market in India for SARS-CoV. Okay. Personally, I do not recommend sanitize the vegetable. Yeah, there are like vegetable wash, you can get it from the market, but it's still a chemical. So I do not personally recommend. In industry, we do use the vegetable wash, because we deal with the bulk scale. So we had to, like, it's not possible to like the manually wash a bulk of like the it's a lot of like big amount of vegetable. So we use the vegetable wash, it is available. So then just put it in the big container sink, soak it so that it destroys the microorganism. But in household, I don't need, just like rinsing is sufficient. And in India, like most for the vegetables, we usually cook. So cooking kills a microorganism. So if you cook to the certain temperature and for some certain time, it will kill the microorganism. So personally, I don't recommend like sanitizer or any soap to clean the vegetable. For the uh, chicken or any meat product, we don't need to wash. Because when I was in India in my childhood, I used to see my my mom or anybody's washing the chicken, and after coming from after being from the market. Yes, if you can wash for only like to remove the dirt if it is there, but we don't need to, because like you cannot wash the microorganism from the chicken, because like from chicken there are microorganisms like salmonella, E. coli, those are not naturally occurring, so you cannot remove it from there. So only process is to do it is cooking, so like killing the and also refrigerating so that it doesn't grow further. And in in like here in Canada or US and Europe also, like I lived in London, so that time saw that in store we get the chicken or meat, it is already like treated before it is coming to the store. So it is not likely what we see in India for here, like it's already safe, and it is stored in a refrigerated environment. So here it is not at all recommended to wash the chicken or any meat when you get it at home. So just like put it in the freezer if you're not freezer if you're not using right away, or if just cook it. So because if you wash the chicken, like chicken surface was like those bacteria are there, and it's likely to splash the water in your clothing or surrounding dishes what we have, uh, uh, and that bacteria will be there. So that can grow, and that can cause disease. Uh, like so that was there. So, and one thing to mention, another when I was in school, like school means like when I was doing the food safety degree. So we did a research on that. So like for the chicken available in our market in grocery store in nearby area. So we did what is called sampling of the microorganisms or bacteria what is in the chicken. So we found almost bacteria like every sample we have. So it is unnecessary to like wash that. That I can say. And another for me, I think that's, and another one, last one, I think from Dr. like Shayan Chatterjee. It's from student of BHMS. So he was asking about what is the scope after BHMS for the Master of Public Health, uh, and Google website. I don't know about where you get that information. Like Google, if it is showing like that, but to do MPH after BHMS, you can directly contact to the universities in North America. Basically, all MPH degree it's basically all maximum master's degree is funded. So to get into the master's or beyond, like PhD, so you have to talk to a supervisor and then talk to get into the program. So if it's a master's, like a master of public health, you have to talk to the faculty member of that university and just contact them and express your interest that okay, you are interested to apply to their lab or to their like to their project and wanted to the MPH degree. So so you can, and so once they accept you, then you can apply to the university, because but here it is important to like get a funding from the professor or from the faculty member to be in the project. But for in my case, what I did in UK, it was not funded. Like it was not fully funded. The part was my degree was funded, and part I had to pay. But there is no option like in that I have to contact one faculty member to be in the project. So in UK it is little different. So some course you can just get in, you can after finishing your BHMS degree, and you can just talk to the university and apply, and then you are assigned to the supervisor after. So that is different case in UK. But if it is a funded program, so then you might need to be contacted by accepted by the faculty member. I think that is everything for me. Yeah, I think that's all what I have.
Yes, thank you, Prosen, for answering all the questions. Yeah, thank you so much, Prosen, for answering all the queries of the doctors and the students. And now I'll request Dr. Harpreet to be on the screen. She is having, Kalyani sir, Dr. Harpreet is having few questions from the audience. First question is from Shayan Chatterjee. Shayan Chatterjee. I'll request the backstage editor Orko to highlight the question on the screen, please. The
What
question
is this?
for Harpreet.
Canada? Can I practice there? Passing my bachelor's degree. This question is from Sayan Chatterjee. Okay. I'll have to repeat my whole presentation again regarding the scope of homeopathy in Canada. And yes, you can. I have only done bachelor's in homeopathic medicine and surgery. Those 2 or 3 other degrees are just the additional perks that I'm enjoying. You can definitely come here, have passion, and start practicing. Regulations do vary from province to province. As Dr. Shashikant Tiwari sir was mentioning, I am also in Manitoba. I contacted Dr. Nelima Nelson as well when I came here, and she used to run that so-called institute, and it's not in presence anymore. They stopped that course long time back, and now there's only one college in Ontario, and they are having their different rules and regulations. If you have practiced long time, you can grandparent with submitting some things, but if you're in other provinces, there are some kind of limitations, but you can definitely practice. Is there any other question? I think that was the only thing, right? Yeah, I don't see any.
Yes, that was the only. Yeah, that was the only question from a student. Thank you, Harpreet and Prosen, for being with us, and all the juniors and seniors who have been watching. I'll request Dr. Kalyani to conclude the program tonight. The backstage editor, Orko, please bring on Kalyani, sir.
And thank you to the backstage editor for doing all this. He's genius. He was very much
I'll request Dr.
expert in
Kalyani,
the
sir, to conclude
beginning that
today's meeting
we could not
with his
started.
inputs. And, I'd like to inform Professor Shashikant Tiwari.
We are really. Do you hear me?
Yes.
Yes.
We are really grateful to Dr. Tiwari for providing us time to be with us for a long period. We are really thankful. And to Prosen, beautiful presentation. I'm very happy.
Thank you, sir. Thank
Go
you.
on with a new light to help homeopathy. Beautiful. And for Harpreet, I can tell you what you are doing. I just remembering the life of animal. You are swimming against the flow of a river.
Thank you, sir.
Of a richest country by taking homeopathy in your heart and 2 kids in your hand.
Yes.
Really salute you.
Thank you, sir. That means a lot.
This sort of heart and hands and brain should be with us to strive with homeopathy if we really love homeopathy. Constraints, to overcome the constraints is power of mind, power of body. To practice in India is no matter because the field is ready. Field is ready. Anybody can practice anywhere. But we came to know that in Canada to practice homeopathy is very difficult, very hard. But please remember, the field of India was made by certain person, those has hearts and brain like you. They did not have any recognition, no degree, no position, no approval, not even doctors. They started practicing by learning from foreign countries. They started curing patients one by one for their sacrifice, devotion, and Hahnemann's Odi Sepera. Today, India has taken the shape of homeopathy. I think gradually, as Dr. Tiwari told, you go on service homeopathy. A day will come when you will get your proper recognition. Definitely.
Thank you so
Many,
much.
many thanks.
Thank you so much. Thanks for the
N.I.H is
encouragement.
N.I.H is feeling proud of you, like
Oh,
students.
thank you, sir. It means a lot to me.
Huh? We should learn from you this striving
Yeah,
to
thanks.
fight against the obstacles. Anyway,
Thanks.
thank you to all the viewers, listeners for joining with us, to encourage us, for sharing our ideas, thoughts, experiences by which all of us will grow together to show what N.I.H can do in the world. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you guys for watching the live stream. Due to some issues, I cannot show my face right now because some lighting issue. And thank you, Harpreet ma'am, Prosen sir, for cheering me up also. And thanks for coming to our show. So, and thank welcome, Harpreet ma'am. So the next, so we will be holding the next CME. It will be scheduled. Please, viewers, do make sure to subscribe and turn on the notification bell in order to check out or get notified with the next scheduled CME. And if you are liking our video, please, oh, my video is on. If you are liking our CME, then please do make sure to like this video also, and the other CMEs which we have done. You can get that on our channel. Just click on the channel and you will get over there. And the more banner I was just showing on the information, I hope everyone have seen it, and we will appreciate any donations from you all viewers. So again, thanks for watching. See you in our next live stream. And also we are on social media. The social media links are on description. Do make sure to follow us both on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. We give updates every time over there, and we are trying to do some extra social media accounts. We'll soon let you know in the description. So now this is Mukherjee, your backstage editor, signing off. Good night.